happening, ladies and gentlemen? I was going to look at specific images from this specific clip, but I thought, you know what? I'll take a little bit of a gamble. I'll watch the whole clip in its entirety. If it gets a copyright strike or anything, then bang, I'm taking it down. But we'll see how we do. I know my buddies have reacted to this as well. They've done videos talking about some of the content released in this little clip. And I want to shout out my boy Cody for telling me it was in this, because I was like, wait, there's new images and what the oh, it's from this. So yeah, let's get into it. Let's check it out. Let's check it out. Let's check it out. And I'm going to turn the volume down.
Mr. Miyagi kept this hidden, so opening it would be invasion of privacy, right?
But we'll see how
we're talking about. How could you not want to open his buried treasure?
Oh, like chills.
What was fun about the start of season 6 was we got to bring back some
Big three.
season 1 vibes of just sort of like regular people living life.
Yeah, I got that sort of vibe while watching it.
Is this a Johnny Lawrence puppet?
Give him to borrow your blow-up mattress.
All right, come in.
And it's the first time in series that there is no antagonists of the moment.
Fight!
In season 6, it feels like all the villains.
I kind of like that though, because then you're forced to, like, if you have nothing to fight against, what do you do with yourself?
That is the sweet sound of No More Karate Wars.
What if we actually compete in a tournament
last words.
for a good reason, not for revenge, not for some lifelong regret, but for actually like the closure that they want.
Best of the best. I love that they called it that.
Is the most prestigious karate tournament in martial arts history.
This is the real deal. This is life and death.
What the kids are really focused on.
That fight went
in the first
hard.
5 episodes is training for the Sekai Takai.
I think for Anthony, the coolest thing is to see him evolve as he gets older. And as
I mean, I did say every character was going to get some shine.
All find our place in the world together. With the added elements of the Sekai Taikai, this world championship that all of our characters want to be a part of.
Man, let Show look right his beard, man.
They look at my application again.
I mean, this season's done now, but
Starting out this season, everybody's trying to figure out what is next, what they're gonna do.
At this point in Sam's
Second place.
life is about expressing to herself, let's see how far I've come.
Robbie is one of those super complicated, emotional teenage boys who should probably listen to his mind a little bit more than his heart.
I just really need this. I don't. That's not what I'm saying. So because I'm not going to college, my life is at work.
I think that statement right there is very
He
powerful.
was always just like, this is the plan. This is what I'm doing. It's going to be amazing. He's got a stacked resume. He's born like that.
They introduced Kenny to show that relationship and that dynamic between Kenny and Anthony. And I thought using that dynamic between us, how we are in real life, it just made it more fun and exciting.
They have a good chemistry together, those
Devin
two.
does not
They work well
usually
together.
condone cheating, but she comes into every
Yeah, I
season
don't like
saying,
that.
"I'm
I'm going to be
champion,"
real. I
and
don't like
she
that
just
Devin
gets
did
kicked in
that
the
at all.
face over and
It
over
doesn't
again.
feel in
So
character
she
for her
just
whatsoever.
needed
I
that
just.
win.
But again, I suppose the point is to show that people will cross
friendship
lines
between
regardless of
Daniel and
what,
Johnny comes a little bit front and center.
I want to do whatever it takes to help lead Miyagi-Do to victory.
Hopefully you guys can't hear the police siren in the background.
To do better for each other because they
Quick,
evolved.
take him
This
down.
is not Johnny and Daniel of season 1 and 2.
Yeah, I'm willing to try on the white gi.
Yeah,
which is
I'll
very
touch
nice.
upon this in
It's
another
fresh.
video, but I really don't like that they're
One of the fun
bickering
things you get to
again.
see in
Like,
this first
I don't like
5
it.
is Johnny rejecting Cobra Kai. He puts Eagle Fang aside because he feels like that's another version of Cobra Kai.
Well, it is.
And he's ready to dive into
And Eagle Fang's a
Miyagi-Do.
cool gimmick, but come on.
time to push out.
I agree with what
I never
Chosen
got a
said.
chance to
Eagle
work
Fang name is
with Kelly
stupid.
before this, but it's been a joy. Some of the stuff that we had a chance
It always
to
throws
do.
me
I
off
love
with
that bit with Chosen going
Yuji's
house
actual
hunting.
voice.
It ain't happening, Chief.
Trying to, spread our wings.
Meanwhile, Daniel is going through all sorts of stuff in his head. He discovers Mr. Miyagi's.
Look,
sort
I
of
love
box
Mr.
of
Miyagi as much
secrets
as
that's been
anyone,
hidden
but
in
Johnny
the
has a
house.
point.
He's searching for Miyagi answers.
It's like romanticizing Yoda.
Identified his attacker as Kisuke Miyagi.
I think everyone's very surprised that
Kreese has come back.
Well, I don't agree with that. I think we all knew he was coming.
Gonna lose their
We all knew he was gonna come
I
back.
feel like Cobra Kai doesn't exist without Kreese. Is the issue? Is
But
like
that's the
he's,
problem right
like,
there.
he is Cobra Kai.
Yeah, it's like weird because it feels like coming home. You know what I mean? Like it shouldn't
You
be.
kind of
the bad
can't
guy,
do it without
but,
him.
like there's something about Kreese that's just like this shit
Ultimate
is so
bad
fun
guy.
to watch.
And then also with the introduction of Master Kim.
That was goofy as hell. How is this man still alive? Like,
No.
And having our respective
that had me
relationships
rolling for a
unfold
good 10
this
minutes.
season.
Mr. Kim, maybe you do not understand.
It really does feel like our Valley kids are about to face their biggest challenge yet.
You 6 will be fighting for Miyagi-Do. It will be the
I've only
toughest
watched up to
challenge you
about this
faced
point,
yet.
and then I stopped. So I don't know
win,
what's after this.
We're all gonna need to be there for each other.
All of us.
Honestly,
Cobra Kai to me is just so scary. They're all so badass.
I need to pause it for a second. I am so happy we have legitimate villains in Cobra Kai. Oh, but we've had bad kids before. No. We've had morally conflicted kids. This guy right here is a character that doesn't care. He has no mercy. He's relentless. He doesn't give a shit. He will hurt you. What he did to Yoon alone, that's someone that's in the same dojo as him. Imagine what he's going to do to people in a rival dojo. I stand by what I said. I think him and Robbie are about to have the dopest fight in the whole show. I really think they're going to go all in, especially because when you look at the athleticism of Brandon Lee and the athleticism of Tanner Buchanan, them two are going in. I can't wait to see it.
Kick the Empire State Building.
They do what our characters are supposed to be able to do. They can do it in real life.
Honestly, this
to
was
have a true big bad back in Cobra Kai, back in the pilot
See?
scene with Kreese. It
a
feels
true
really
big
right.
bad. Even Sholo said
You
it
never
himself.
saw
There's a
someone
difference
with
between
the
having a
prowess
big bad and a
that Brandon has.
conflicted big bad.
3
He's
revolutions.
doing 1080 spin kicks.
Unbelievable.
Well, originally
I like how
said I
Martin
was gonna
still
be a
speaks like
guest
Kreese
star
even
on the
out of.
show, where the writers have taken Tory and this journey that I've been on, and like being here now with you guys in season 6 is so surreal.
Tory has come a long way on this show.
If we win, that's all anyone's gonna remember.
We've gotten deeply invested in her
You got a
life.
point.
This season, we get to see she's joined Miyagi-Do. She's friends with the group. She and Sam have this budding friendship going on here. But in the background, she still has her mother who's sick.
Glad to see you're still training.
When Sensei Kreese comes to Tory and basically sort of puts those seeds of doubt, you'll never get a fair shake at Miyagi-Do.
They'll invite you in, but you'll never belong there.
At this moment, when
Incorrect.
she finds out that her mother...
I really was so happy that Tory resisted Kreese's manipulation. I really was so happy. I was like, thank God. And then this happened. Like, honestly, this girl cannot catch a break at all. Just constant hit after hit.
mother has passed away and she's grieving, and they have that fight between the two of them to determine who the captain is. And when
Now, I will say this. On this fight, on one hand, let her get it out of her system. On the other hand, Daniel is right to stop the fight, because in this headspace, she's going to take Sam's head off. But then also, she has to get it out of her system. Like that's the tricky situation here. You know, managing grief is a very hard thing.
it stops and she kind of unravels,
Oh, that's not fair.
you feel for her on levels that probably when you first saw Tory enter this show that you never expected to feel.
Great work, LaRusso. You just lost one of our best fighters. Why the hell didn't you back me up? Because she wanted to fight.
This
Our
bit here.
mother just
Wait for
died.
it.
What's the matter with you? She was working through it.
The moment
See, this is when Johnny has enough of Daniel's bullshit for 6 seasons. When he finally has enough and he finally snaps.
Best fighters. Why the hell didn't you back me up? Because she wanted to fight.
It's not funny, but this bit kind of
She
is.
was working through it.
the moment that she shows up and Daniel and Johnny see her there at the Sekai Takai and all the kids see her there and realize
Someone give
this
Robbie a hug, man.
girl who is hurting is turning into the tornado.
And Tori's not just joining Cobra Kai; she's joining a Cobra Kai that has Quan and you.
Yeah, no morals whatsoever. She's around people that are evil.
She fights dirty and she fights mean, and then she just starts getting really overwhelmed and forgetting all the good that Amanda and Daniel have done for.
She's joining a dojo full of characters that are dead set on being arseholes. So, you know, what happens when you take a character like Tory, who by definition has had many moments across the show where she's been a real piece of shit, but she's a real sweetheart at heart. She's just got a tragic past, and had a really, really rough go of it. What happens when you take a character like that and you put them against in the same environment as characters that have no morals and are genuinely assholes?
Her, and she just throws
Some
the
people
opportunity
are
away.
actually assholes.
I have to go.
We may have settled things in the valley, but now Miyagi-Do's ready for whatever the world throws at us.
That fight went hard.
Reese has been in Korea building an army. It becomes.
I'm sorry,
this
Brandon Lee and
moment
Tanner
that
Buchanan. I
hits
need that in
Johnny
a
and
fight
Daniel
scene.
right
Them
in
two
the
would kill
face
it.
of the big bad
Or even
wolf
Jacob.
is back in our world.
There's a lot of frayed nerve endings as we come to the end of episode 5 and then teeing up the what's that going to be like.
I think everybody loves to watch Daniel and Johnny just bicker at each other.
No, can confirm, we do not. Not anymore. It's gotten tiring now. Like it's actually, like, don't get me wrong, it has its place and it is funny, but no, not 6 seasons into the show. It feels like I'll go on my little gripe a minute here. That's my biggest issue with this season, is it feels like we're rehashing some of season 4, like the weakest points, i.e. Johnny and Daniel bickering over nothing again. And yes, it's not nothing objectively speaking. It's just annoying that it's being put that way in order for that to happen again, like for like the 5th time now. Like it's annoying.
They bicker at each other. They're like the most interesting couple.
Oh, I agree with that. The most interesting couple.
Here and decided let's give it a whirl.
I didn't exactly say.
I'm all for playing the slow game.
Yeah, well, I like how they brought back his suit from the
all
first
that
season.
baggage with us to Barcelona.
Man, look at these guys. They look great.
He's looking at the Sekai Tekke like, if we can win this thing, his name will be on a poster, it'll be on the map, he'll have endorsements, and he'll get all kinds of. His life's going to be answered winning this thing.
Oh, that right there is a shot. That's a shot. Look at that. Oh, that's powerful. I like that. And look, who's the captain? Sheesh. I've got a thing that I want to touch upon in a future video discussing this little like comment that's going around the fandom, but it's not the place to do it because it discusses a certain leak. And I want to keep this like leak free.
The tournament is the big thing, but there's a lot of conflict that I feel like everybody has to get over.
Yeah, there is.
It doesn't matter.
Oh no, it does matter.
You just keep doing your best and you'll have everyone's respect.
No, it matters.
The next batch of episodes is so action-filled.
We've got to wait like 4 months for it.
So much
Damn it.
fun.
I don't want to sound too cheesy here, but I do think we have the biggest fight yet in the next batch.
Okay, why did the camera specifically linger in on these guys?
Action-filled. It is so much fun.
I don't want to sound too cheesy here, but I do think we have the biggest fight yet.
It lingers in on these 4 for a reason.
This is the world.
Yo.
Tournament. This is the all value.
Well, hold on a minute. Let me go back and see that
The
again.
next batch.
Damn.
This is the world
Look at the frickin'
tournament.
sheesh.
This is
Oh my gosh.
the All Valley is child's play.
Next level martial arts.
Oh, this is going to be sick.
It's going to be something that nobody really expects.
Good.
It's going to be even more intense.
Good.
Even more exciting. And people are not going to be able to know.
Oh, I noticed how Tory's training alone.
And people are not going to be able to know what's coming.
We've been building up for this. All of our Miyagi-Do students train their butts off. Anything could possibly happen, and you're about to see some of the best martial arts you've seen on the show.
I think we have set a new standard.
There's just so much that is
The show has
boiling
had a lot
at
of
the end of
standards
episode
now.
5 that is ready to explode, and we haven't even met the other karate dojos yet.
Oh, mate.
Man, does everybody bring it in those next 5 episodes? Like, it is every storyline that you can possibly imagine.
Okay, now this was the image that I saw floating around. And I want to touch upon this. Everyone's like, oh, Miguel's jealous of Robbie. I don't even think it's that. Whenever there's something like this that happens, I notice that Cobra Kai fans tend to go to like the worst possible scenario and outcome. It could be something as simple as questioning a decision kind of thing. And I really feel like this isn't what people think it is. Like, could it be right that Miguel was jealous of Robbie and whatever? Yeah, for sure. But I don't even think it's necessarily that. This looks like a look of like, holy shit, what did we just see? I think this could be a moment where they see a fighter take someone's head off and they're like, oh, this is what we signed up to. Yeesh. And then it's like looking at each other going, well, we're screwed. You know, it could be something as simple as that. I don't think it always has to be the most drama-driven soap opera CW level show of like show level of writing in terms of like, oh, Miguel's jealous. Like, I think Miguel's above that personally. Yes, he would like to be captain. Yes, he's going to be ruining over it. Maybe there is parts of himself where he's like, hey, you know what? If I would make these decisions, people wouldn't get hurt. I could definitely see them doing that. But I feel like in this moment, these things are not mutually exclusive to each other. It doesn't necessarily have to be that, because look at the way he looks at them. Like, it starts out with Robbie looking at them first. Look,
it's like
this could be a moment of respect. Like, I think this could be a moment of respect. This is probably the beginning of the Sekai Taikai. This is the beginning of the tournament starting. Robbie looks at his soldiers and then they nod to each other like, yeah, we got each other. We can do this. Something like that. I could be wrong, but I'm trying to not reach the negative outcomes.
of Cobra Kai.
Oh, hold up on that. Hold up.
Could possibly imagine. It's like
God, they look good. Robbie, you poor. Man. You know what? I will say this, right? There is a soundtrack from season 6 that is called Keenry Forever. Now, I'm not one to get into shipping names and things like that, but I really feel like everyone that's saying that Robbie's going to be in a headspace that isn't suitable to lead or to win, maybe not to lead, but I disagree on the winning part for one reason. The minute Robbie switched a new gear when he beat Miguel, right? Yes, I said it. He beat Miguel. Cry more. He beat Miguel. He saw Tory. Tory walked into the scene. He used that energy as fuel. And what have I always said? And what has everyone always said? The minute you stop fighting against and fight for, you're infinitely stronger. You're way better because you have a real reason to fight. The minute Tory enters the frame, he kicks into like the 5th gear and then he goes absolutely ham. Like, he enters focus Robbie mode. And I really feel like with all the Rocky references, especially going into this season, he's not fighting for himself. He'll be fighting for Tory. If he wins this, he shows Tory a different path away from Cobra Kai, that she can be more than Kreese. She can be more than what she feels like she's, heading towards. I think there's a real satisfying story there. I think everyone's so quick to jump to the conclusion that, his headspace is going to be out of it. They gave Robbie captaincy so Miguel could win the Sekai Taikai. I don't always think that's necessarily the case. I think for once it would be nice to not have a bait and switch and use it as motivation, use it as fuel. And I will touch upon this in a later video, but what I can see happening, Robbie being completely out of it for a little bit, like his headspace is so out of it, maybe he gets jumped by Quan and them lot, maybe he gets into a fight with them. Miguel takes up captaincy for a little bit, leads the line, leads the team, because the thing is, remember what Johnny said to them, now with both of you on the same page, we have a chance. Both of them are leaders in their own right. Miguel will step up and lead the team. Let's say if Robbie's injured, for all intents and purposes, he'll come back to fight in the final and resume his spot. And then what's the one thing Daniel hasn't done yet? He hasn't done the Miyagi healing technique, or Chosen hasn't done it. Like, they could even do that route. Or, because it's entrenched in Cobra Kai, they could go the whole angle of pushing through, powering through, fighting through the pain. A reference to the movie that Johnny was watching with them in the Miyagi dojo, where he said that the character had an injury and it was miraculously healed in the next film or whatever. That could be a little setup for something. And I feel like, all right, yes, every character has a reason to win it, but I feel like the minute you put Robbie's girlfriend in Cobra Kai, again, you've made it. How much more personal can you make it? You've literally put his girl over there twice. The first time she was tortured, this time she's being manipulated. His student was put over there. It's the cause of all of his issues with him and his father. He almost lost himself in it. Everything that's gone wrong in Robbie Keane's life is to do with this freaking dojo and all the people involved in it. I feel like you cannot make it any more personal than that. I really don't. I feel like you miss such a great opportunity here. It's not me being a fanboy. It's not me being biased. It's just literally storytelling. It's right there. And now you've put Tory in the other dojo opposite him. Like, there's so much motivation and fuel you've just given him. But then, if the worst is to happen and he gets injured and he's out of it, he's got the support of Miguel and Hawk right next to him. Like, let it not be undersold. Hawk still won a trophy. He's still a character that can put in work. And Miguel is still an All-Valley champion and the one that we started with. So whatever way you slice it, we're going to be eating good. But I feel like fans are so quick to jump to the, oh, no, he's going to get jumped and then he's going to be out of it, which could totally happen. but I feel like it's too predictable for me. I feel like that's too obvious. I don't like it when characters are set up for something and then pushed aside. Like we don't need no Rey Skywalker BS here. Let's not do that here. Let's let the legacy characters have their shine for once. And to be fair, speaking of legacy characters, Sam LaRusso, I have been a big advocate for her winning the Sekai Taikai since it was first announced because she's, Daniel's kid and whatever. But we really do need some motivations from her as to why she needs to win it. Because right now, I'm not seeing nothing. Nothing. At least Miguel wants to win it to give his family a better life if they win the Sekai Taikai and they can get money and endorsements. Same way Billy Zabka said. But I don't know. I need a bit more for Sam at the moment. As much as I still would like Sam to win it, they need to do more of that. And I hope part 2 goes all in on that. Go all in on that. Laser-like focus.
Certainly for Johnny and Daniel, the worst possible place where they began of wanting to work together.
Because they're all individually loyal to where they came from, to their roots. And those are not
I'm really fascinated to see what they do with Cobra Kai at the end, like as a dojo.
always in harmony.
When everyone brings their baggage to the Sekai Taikai, that baggage is very difficult to leave at the door.
They're pushing.
Oh, that shot was so clean.
Each other instead of working together.
That right there.
There's going to be a lot that's left unresolved that needs to get resolved.
Fans will absolutely freak out for
no doubt
to come.
Let the games begin.
He's such an asshole. Like, you want to hate him, but you can't. Honestly.
All the work's about to pay off right here in this next batch of episodes.
That's what I mean. Part 2 is going to be absolutely heavy with the fighting. Part 3 is going to be the fallout. Oh, man. That was clean. I love that. I love that. Oh, okay. So now we're at the end. If this gets a copyright strike or anything like that, I'm taking it down and then I'll probably download it and clip it out and crop it and things like that. It's just been a crazy weekend. I was on holiday. But thank you all for tuning in and watching. I think there's a lot we can take away from that. I think that there's moments in this Inside the Dojo look where you get a lot of context as to why the first part of season 6 plays out the way it does. But I still feel for me that there are certain things, i.e. with the Johnny and Daniel bickering, that I don't like. I don't like it. Like, people will say it's funny. Yeah, but it's funny to a point. If you keep using it as the centerpiece of conflict every time, it gets boring. It's come on. The fact that Master Kim is alive and Kreese is even still afraid of him is incredible. I could not tell you how much I was pissing myself when that was revealed. But I really did enjoy this. I think it was really cool. Guys and girls, jump in the comment section down below. Let me know what your standout moment from this was. What part of this caught your eye? And I really love the showcase of Brandon Lee's character Kwon doing that high kick that he did and scraping the top of the wall. I think that's obviously a competition to see who can kick the highest. And there was a post that was put on Instagram, I think by Peyton, where Brandon Lee attempts to kick the pad up here, and so does Jacob Bertrand. So it's probably a game where who can kick the highest. And out of all the kids, like, for that one, you're going to pick Hawk. Like, I mean, it's a no-brainer. But I'm really fascinated to see what other information we get between now and part 2. Guys and girls, jump in that comment section down below. Let me know if you agree with any of the points that I've raised. And remember, it's just a show. Don't got to take it personally. Chill, vibe, enjoy this. Enjoy this. I would rather, right, be talking about why a character deserves to win a trophy over another character versus this show is shit. Count your blessings. Count your blessings. Enjoy the journey and all the fruits that Cobra Kai has to offer in its final season.
Look, if you're so worried about this son of a bitch, why don't we go